Hello and welcome to Intuitive Clarifications with Natasha. I am here to give you some guidance on your life's journey, and I'm always so grateful to be here with those that want to listen to a perspective to help them maybe to get there. And today I'm going to be channeling a little bit, probably more than I normally do, and I'm just so grateful every time that I can do that because it's a perspective to do things. And I know that, as we go forward and doing things, it's just an amazing little journey that we do in ourselves when we're going through this stuff. Boy, have you felt like you've been going through the car wash? Have you felt like you've been going through a lot of different shifts and changes? I know that I have some big insights, creating better boundaries, creating new stories, creating this understanding of ourselves. I've just been fly, gosh darn it, you. I know you want out and I can't let you out. Well, actually, I can. So I'm going to take this pause and I'm going to let this fly out because he was telling me I'm a fly family. It's like communication. So I'm going to keep talking about it. Okay, so here we go. So, it's one of those things that as you go forward and in your life, you've been doing a lot of this journey walk of who we are and what we're doing. And hopefully the fly now can get out because he's going to keep diving bombing me if I don't. So, going into this, it's like we're in the middle of a lot of this journey of who we are and what we're doing. So, if you can remember that, it's about spending time with yourself, right? That spending time with yourself and really listening to you. How do you listen to yourself? Because if we can listen to ourselves and listen to who we are, that it's amazing that we actually find a way to get through a lot of these stories. So going into this, that, September here, we've had so much negotiation. And I know that when Janet was on my show, she kind of shared a little bit about that, because we started out the month with, the eclipse with the new moon. Then we had, oh my gosh, the 9/9 portal. Did you feel that 9/9 portal? And I know that was a couple weeks ago, but oh my gosh, I'm still feeling the effects of it. And then this last weekend, we had the full moon with the solar eclipse. Then we had the equinox right after it, right? So Sunday night to Monday, that was that. And then, I always call after a full moon. Hello, Veronica. After that, I always call after a full moon or a new moon. It's almost like that full moon hangover. It's almost like a hangover. And I've never really had a hangover, so I don't really know that. I'm not a drinker, but, it's like that hangover. And, you can equate it to a hangover of having a very long, busy day. You can equate it to a lot of different things. So, it's like that equation of, is that a word, equation? Equation of who we are and what we're doing, that it's like this moment. And I was like, I know on, Monday, I was feeling very heavy and tired and feeling like my head was in a vice. Then Tuesday, I was feeling this like another layer of heaviness and almost tiredness. But then, I did a wonderful session and that sparked me up. I love doing this. I love actually having my show too, because that always winds me up a little bit. And then, today it was like, I can get things done. I'm actually getting what I need to do and getting things the way they are. I've actually gone up and down the stairs a couple times because I wanted to move. I got on my vibration plate because I wanted to move. And, that movement piece is part of that. And I called up a couple people and, it's that moment where it's like connection happens. And Veronica, I've been definitely, thinking about you, and I know that you've been reaching out to me, and I don't know if your phone has been calling me, but it's one of those things. So, well, I'll get in touch with you after this show if that works out for you. But I know that you've been going through a lot too. Yeah, it really was a very challenging few days, and I know a lot of people have had these challenging few days, and it depends on really I'm going to tell you this. It really depends on where. And I'm not an astrologer, but Janet Hickox is, and I really love her type of reading. So if you want to get a good astrology reading, Janet Hickox, who is on my show of living-astrology.com, she does a great job. And, she can really line you up with where you're at and what you're doing. That like, we've had a lot of Pluto play, we've had a lot of Aquarius play, we've had a lot of Mercury play, we've had a lot of um, Mars playing in our planets, and that's been a lot of this stir up that we've been getting. And oh my gosh, a lot of these endings to new beginnings have been happening. I know for me that 9-9 portal was just so palatable that it was like my 9 personal day even. Right. So, having all these 99999s, and I'm excited that a lot of these, I've actually been grateful for this year. I've been really grateful, even though it has been a challenge, even though it hasn't been easy, even though because of having my second Saturn return, personal 9 year, husband having a personal 9 year, he's having his second Saturn return. It's the year of the snake. It's the universal 9 year. It's, I, it's like all these 9999999s is about endings, right? So if no matter how many nines you have, they all add up to 9. And so going into this, that we're all in the midst of figuring out how can we have these endings to new beginnings. And if you have that perception, if you have that perspective, if you have these understandings about the nines and endings make magical beginnings. So like for me, I've been setting up some boundaries, been setting up these boundaries of understandings and amazingness of being able to be who I am. And, it's like creating these like vulnerability pieces that I'm grateful that I can have vulnerability with the people that I'm with, because I choose the people to have my vulnerability with. Now, there's some people you can't be vulnerable with. And I know, Veronica, maybe you struggle a little bit with having vulnerability because of how many people are around you that you cannot trust. And that's okay, right? And so going into this, that, and anybody else there, can't always be vulnerable. But, there's going to be time when you can be vulnerable with yourself. So be vulnerable with yourself, if anybody. Be honest with you. When you're laying in bed, when you're waking up in the morning, I've really been using the mantra, I'm attuning to the energies of the now, right? I'm really attuning to the energies. I'm in the frequency of abundance. I'm allowing myself to walk in the abundant life that I'm in. Let me feel and know the abundance that I have, because it's that gratitude piece, it's that understanding piece. And if we do, and there's a fly sitting on top of my camera right now, I wish I could show you, because it's like, I know flies are kind of gross. For me, it's like, yeah, they have their gross times, but at the same time, though, they, and he's saying, I'm just so grateful that you are part of my life. You just kind of help me be who I am. You accept me for who I am, and I do that with all the bugs. I just accept them for who they are. Sometimes they're pretty, sometimes they're not so pretty. It's like one of those things. But we all need to be accepted. That's the thing. We all need to be accepted for who we are. We're all unique. We're all who we are. And that's the thing, is I want you to understand that a lot of this dance that we're going through right now, and I forgot to turn on my lights, oops, that, it is about self-love. We're really coming into this part. And I know for me, the boundaries that I set up for myself were part of my self-love dance. It was that I deserve to be loved. I deserve to be loved for who I am. I deserve to be loved for what I do. So when we go into creating new boundaries, sometimes those boundaries aren't always easy to negotiate. Sometimes those boundaries aren't always going to be heard well. A lot of times those boundaries aren't going to be that possibility of acceptance of life. But the thing is, though, that's what a lot of the stirring up has been about, is finding our self-love. That self-love is something that you cannot take, others cannot take away, only if you let them. So if you can, find that deeper self-love that you have for yourself. That means looking in the mirror and saying you love yourself. That means that I accept my day the way it was. And I was listening to Dolores Cannon. One of her videos came across, and it was just a short little blurb that I listened to. And it said, your body knows when it is loved. And I had a session the other day, and it was talking about that deeper level, that deep cell level of knowing that we are loved. Now, do I appreciate every stage that my body's in? No. But I'm really going to work on from now on that no matter where I'm at in my life, I'm going to start loving my body, even if it is 10 pounds overweight, even if it is a little achy, even if it is a little bit wrinklier than it used to be. Finding that love for who we are is magical. And the fly is back again. So coming into this, that remembering that life is about shifting us up, but it's always coming back to us. It's always going to bring it back to us. Now, how many of you have been really feeling like you've been going over old stories? Me too, right? Because right now, let's see, it's the 24th, 25th. I think my mom passed away on the 26th of September here. And last week, oh my gosh, I grieved her like no tomorrow. I did a video on it actually saying this is what grief looks like even 27 years later, right? 27 years later, that grief can look like this. I was very vulnerable in that piece of that video because it was time for me to really feel some of those emotions that not feeling safe in places in my life didn't allow me to really feel things in the deepness that I was needing to on certain times. Now, does that mean that this time of grief wasn't going to be any more important or less? It doesn't really matter, right? I just know that at this time, because she's been gone now 27 years, guess what? 2 plus 7 equals 9. So going into this, that there's another 9 in my life, right? It is really time for me to be freaking done with a lot of my stories. Freaking done with a lot of things. And I can tell you that a lot of other people are in the same place. It's done. We're done being treated in a certain way. We're done being manipulated in our realities around us. And that's the thing is that we've had unspeakable things that have happened in the US here. We've had unspeakable things that have happened over in the Gaza Strip. We've had unspeakable things that have happened over in other parts of the countries, right? And I can't name them all. I'm not going to name them all. There's some that have been in the news. There's some that haven't been in the news. But the thing is, though, this awakening that we have, and in the US here, we've had hangings, we've had subway killings, we've had from a long time now. And then we had somebody who got assassinated, right? The thing is, though, what was the thing that really stirred people up? It was Jimmy Kimmel getting laid off for having to said something that was basically just a statement. Wow. Does that tell you where our universe is right now? That really tells you the thing that it doesn't matter what is the camel what is that thread that breaks the camel's back, as the saying goes, right? That last straw that breaks the camel's back, or what is that last thing that says this has done it for me? It's time to really understand that I'm not being political here. I don't want to be political here. I'm not about being political here. Because I'm about being in the middle, and I want to bring this world of ours to a better loving place. Whoever believes in whatever they believe in. It's not right that what happened in this world through up to now, right? I almost felt like we were going back to the Western times in this world of, or other places happening in different parts of our world that was like in the Western times that we had this person that was a gunman, and he came into a town because he just wanted to rile people up and have his opinion, right? Or a bulldozer opinionator came through and bought out all the land and took over the town because he just could, right? He was the bully of the time. We have these things that have repeated and repeated and repeated and repeated our history. And each time we have a repetition of the history, we have somebody, let's say, the cowboy that said, basically, I'm not selling my land, you're not taking me over, and I'm going to fight you on it. I'm going to stand my ground and I'm going to have boundaries. And it's not necessarily that these people have to fight. We don't necessarily have to fight, but we have to have boundaries. This is not acceptable for me. And part of my not acceptance is that when something happens or my husband says something that I don't believe in, because we have different belief systems in some things, I just say in myself, I'm done with this illusion. I'm done with this illusion because we're actually shifting up our matrix system, if that's what you want to call it. We're shaking up our understanding. And I love how a lot of the spiritual guardians that we have, like Mikkel or Bashar, or some of these that give the bigger perspective, right? They say basically the illusion or the way we perceive something is the way that the matrix or the way that things are, right? You can stand next to somebody and they will see something totally different than what you do because that's their eyesight. That's the movie that they're seeing their life through. And so with that, the movie that we see ourselves through is actually the world that we're living. Isn't that a thing? So if we don't like the movie that we're living right now, what can we do to change it? What can we do to engage in a different life? By being done with that illusion. We're done with that story. We're done with all that thing, right? So when I was on the radio this last Sunday, there's one mantra that I'm standing or I'm standing in my abundant life, I think is one of the mantras that Martha reads off, and that was from Linda Rasmussen. And I'm attuning to the energies of the now. Martha changed it up a little bit to suit her mantra, but that's what I usually say is I attune to the energies of the now. And so as she was reading the mantras, I came up with this. I'm attuning to the energies of the now with grace, love, ease, as I walk in my abundance. So I'm going to change that up because I didn't say all of it. Okay. I'm attuning to the energies of the now with grace, ease, love, and light as I walk in the abundance of my life. As I walk in the abundance of my life. So going into this, that I've really been saying that mantra, I attune to the energies of the now. I really honor the energies that I'm in right now. I'm really loving the energies that I'm in as I walk in the abundance of my life. And then I'm going to do it with grace and ease and love and light. Right? Because we own it and we claim it. Own and claim that you deserve and you are so worthy of grace and ease. And you're so worthy of love and light. And abundance. Abundance can be in everything. Right? Abundance can be everything. Right now we have blue skies and sun, and I have a fly sitting on my camera. Right? And he's just sitting there listening to my show with me. But it's about being empowered that we are worthy of love and light. We're worthy of grace with ease. And a lot of people don't believe that. They believe in struggle. They believe in the struggle that they have to learn. So would you rather struggle and have the brokenness of your life? Or would you rather have the ease and say, you know what? I can learn that by just tripping over something and landing gracefully. How much has the animals been talking to you, right? How much have you been paying attention to the world around you? The world is going to help you through your life if you're willing to look. This morning, as I was driving down the driveway, because I have this about 50-foot long driveway that other houses live on, and I'm the last house. And here's a squirrel. From the minute I pulled and to straighten out to pull down my driveway and to straighten out to go down my long gravel drive, the squirrel went most of the way with me in front of me. Hmm. So looking up squirrel, right? Squirrel is about having fun with, as you gather, have fun in abundance, right? Be with what you are. Right now it's in the fall, so they're gathering a lot of nuts. So make sure that I'm gathering what I need. It doesn't mean hoarding. It doesn't mean that I need to hoard my money, but it's like it's being able to say I'm going to be centered in what I have right now, and I'm not going to frivolously just spend it. I'm going to actually honor the flow of the money that is with me, and then have a little bit of fun, right? It's about time to have a little fun. But if we don't want to have fun, we don't. And like oh my gosh, the other night I had this scenario that, I had a friend who I love to go dancing with, but she ended up with a migraine, sadly. And then other people that were going to go with me, they just couldn't go. And I had a choice. Was I going to go dancing or was I not? Hmm. Well, I know for me to make that decision to go or not, every time I said, I'm not going to go dancing, I started crying. I started crying. I started crying. I started feeling emotions building up. And that's the thing is if you know that you're meant to do something, when you speak of the opposite of it, there's emotions there. There's something that says, this is important to me. When it's something that is so important to you, you're going to have something that's going to stir you to do it. And guess what? I drove the 45 minutes to go dancing myself. I had people, oh my gosh. People came up to me and said, Natasha, they didn't know my name, but they just said, in the bathroom and different places like that, you sure like to dance, don't you? You just needed to do this tonight, didn't you? And even the people that I knew that were dancing, they weren't part of my group, but we hug each other and say hi, right? They didn't even really dance with me. But the band, who I know well, and I hug half of them, they smiled at me. I went over to my corner and I just danced. Half the time I closed my eyes and danced because my soul needed to dance. My soul needed to process. My body needed to process. So what are you doing for yourself to help yourself be better? I know another thing that I had done lately, like Saturday. I love being barefoot. I'm not afraid to be barefoot. So there's some blackberry vines. Ain't that a metaphor for life? The blackberry vines, the stickers, right? There were some that were really bugging me and I really wanted to get at them. So what did I do? I don't think I posted that video. What did I do? I went and did it, and I did it barefoot. Now I was careful where I stepped, yes. There was a couple pricks and pokes there, but actually that stimulated my feet, which actually helped me be more grounded. Right now, it's very important to be grounded in what you're doing. Doesn't mean be grounded in like your body and your soul attached to the earth. No, I'm more conscious about being centered there. but getting your feet on the ground and helping yourself feel your feet on your ground. Get all your chakras interacted with. A lot of us are up in the head, up in the understanding, up in that, part of our brain that we're always working on things. But when we are lower in our vibration, we're getting lower in our understanding, many a times we can feel more balanced in our life. Our digestion gets better because we're part of our lower vibration. We're opening up our first, second, third chakras. But we have more chakras than that. We have chakras in our feet. We have chakras in our knees. We have chakras that are attached to earth. So if you can engage with them by going barefoot just a little bit, that will help. So honoring who you are and what you're doing will be a benefit for you. This is the time to really get yourself to know, do you want to be on this planet or not? I sure do. I'm excited about this change. I'm excited about this breakthrough that we're having. I'm excited. Now, do I like everything that's happening in this world of ours? Freaking no. No, I do not. And I want to ask for healing on all this. I mean, I cannot go over to Gaza and do that work, but I can sure tell you that I can sit here and ask for help and prayers and understanding and support for the fellow man that I'm with, this fellow woman that I'm with, the fellow person that I'm with. Because it is about being with us all, appreciating us all. We are in the midst of this big change. But where are we going to go? What's going to happen? What's going to happen next in our reality? Nobody truly knows because there's so many human aspects. But there's this little video that I was watching on YouTube. And, I thought it was very apropos for what we're doing. And I'm going to show it, but I'm also going to have it as a video here because I just was meant to. I was meant to. So let me get it started here.
Oh, sorry, pal. I think I just trampled on one of your...
Okay.
Oh, sorry, pal. I think I just trampled on one of your vegetables.
A tomato is a fruit.
What'd you say?
A tomato is a fruit. So are avocados, cucumbers, and olives are fruits.
Huh. Some pretty good information.
Have a magnificent day. Hey, Miss Amy, how you doing?
How are you doing?
Those are not good for you.
This?
Be good advice.
Could be good advice if I followed it. Hey, he's, the hugging.
Just his way of being friendly.
Hi, Mr. Campbell. How you doing this afternoon?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing good. Even when I'm doing bad, I'm doing good.
Sounds pretty deep.
Have a magnificent day.
You know what? I wasn't being honest with you, Produce. I'm not fine.
Maybe you just need to smile. A cheerful heart is good medicine. Hey, Mr. Campbell, how you doing? Let's do a shopping cart.
I'm not here to shop. I guess I just came to talk.
To me?
I guess I could use some of that magical happiness that you always seem to have. So what's your secret?
Maybe you just need to smile.
Oh, sorry, pal.
So, ain't that the thing about life? Sometimes to change who we are and change what we're going through is actually changing our perception just a little bit. Because, like for me, I've had some rough days. I've had some rough moments. I've had some stirring of the pots. But the thing is, though, keeping a smile in my face. It doesn't mean we have to be happy, but there's a difference between happiness and joy. Joy is being pleasant. Joy is being, I'm good. Joy is being, like that boy, the guy that was part of the network of, the produce. The guy said, hey, Mr. Produce, right? He wasn't happy. He had joy with him. So being in joy can really help shift something up, something in the understanding, something in that brilliance of who we are. So I'm going to take this moment and, I really felt like I don't know who's going to channel through me, but I'm going to be open. And I know Mikhail is probably here. I know that Jesus and Mother Mary, Mother Earth, I don't know who's going to line up, but I feel like that there's going to be this like 1, 2, 3. Okay. So if I channel, I want everyone to know that I just allow them to speak through me. They speak through my mind. So they may have a little bit of my language because they're coming through me. They're coming through my understanding. And I want you to know that if you don't believe in channeling, listen to the words because the words may be something that you are needing to hear, a wisdom that is coming to you. And channeling is something, like some people may call it talking in tongues, some people may call it other things. I just trust that the deities of love and light are with me, to support you. And they choose to come through at my showtime to be with you along with me. So with that, I think the first one that's going to come through is Mikhail. And Mikhail can be somebody Mikhail is a star being from the council, kind of like Bashar, if you've ever heard of Bashar. Bashar is one of those, thank you, Veronica, for sending everybody love. That he is part of the council of the guardians of this planet. And Mikhail is part of that star being network that is trying to help this planet do better. And he has been talking through me. I know he's been visiting others that know of him now. And if you just saw that shadow, that was the fly that was going around. He's been sitting on top of my camera piece here. So with that, I'm going to start off with Mikhail. And I don't know who's going to come through. And my eyes are usually closed, so I will not see any me all the time, Paula says. Yeah, so I'm grateful that Mikhail is coming through you too. Yeah, so I know Bashar's been being pretty close to me too, but I want to honor who's been channeling him and not necessarily, but he says maybe he might come through too. So I don't know who's going to come through. I just know that I have this lineup behind me. Is Andaronda correct? Is Andaronda correct? I think that's what you're trying to say. I don't know. I'm concentrating on Mikhail coming in. And so I will not see the context of any comments as they come through. I'm going to trust that if Mikhail has something that he needs to witness, he will, or whoever else does. Okay. Mikhail will know. Yes. Yes. Thank you, Paula. Okay. So here I go. I release everything, step aside so I can be a clear channel, clear voice for you. For all it is. Hello, everyone. You have come through some big ones in this planet. And I know that we all come through with understandings that this planet is going through major shifts, changes, and processing. So if you can, with all of this understanding, it is a frequency you are shifting into. So as this dear one has been saying about changing her frequency is like a tuning fork. Or a singing bowl like is over here in this other part of the room, or a voice of singing or a song or anything has frequencies. And if you look at sound has a vibration of a frequency and it will vibrate the world around you. And so that is why certain tones of certain people's voices can bother the person that is hearing something because the frequency is not aligning with your frequency. That is why sometimes the news, as you call it, that is why sometimes in your reality, the other people's thoughts and patterns that they are doing do not align with your frequency. I, Mikkel, have been really negotiating, and oh, I love that word, and being a part of the frequency of this planet for a while in observation. I decided to come down to be a part of this group shift of your planet. My brother Bashar is part of this. He has been here a lot longer than I, but we all are coming onto this planet to arise in you to be who you are in your understanding. You are coming into a new what's the word I want to use? You are coming into a new category of time on this planet. You are coming into more of a understanding of the differences of understanding. Your understanding of what you like and what you don't like, what other people are playing in that movie. Isn't that an idea? Because what you are seeing through your eyes is basically a movie of understanding. Now, if you are in alignment with that movie, the movie will feel pleasantry. If you are not, it does not feel right. Dear Veronica, you have been noticing this, haven't you, and Paula? You have been noticing this, and others that are watching right now have been feeling this major shift in when things are aligned with you and when they are not. If they are not aligned with you, you know that they can shift with ever you are in need. Sometimes that is changing up who is around you. That might mean changing up what time you do certain things. It might change up when you eat certain things. When you are coming forward into your reality, you will know when something is aligned with your frequency that you are shifting into. What is abundance? You ask. What is abundance? Abundance is the blessings that is around you. That is the definition of abundance. The blessings that are around you. Now, you can see blessings in nothing. You can see blessings in everything. That is what your movie, your eyesight, your understanding will bring forward for you. If you see blessings in nothing, you will see nothing of blessings. If you see blessings in everything, the blade of grass, the fly standing on the camera front will be a blessing. That was funny. How every creature in this room was standing and listening to this dear one. Flies, fairies, fae, angels, you. They're in alignment with her vibration, her fluency, her frequency. When you are in alignment with the frequency, you will know that things will settle into what they are. Expectations will take you out of a frequency. Greed will take you out of a frequency. Storytelling will take you out of a frequency. Vulnerability will bring you into a frequency. Trust will bring you into a frequency. Surrendering is bringing you into a frequency. Belief, believing, understanding, seeing beyond the now, being in the now, honoring the now, giving the now, saying it's a gift, will bring you into that breath that is abundance. It is time for you to believe that you are in this walk on this planet at this time to do these major shifts, which is the difference in the reality of the planets that you are shifting into. Yes, the world is shifting into other realities. And that is part of this understanding that what is happening in one reality is not going to happen in another reality. But it takes that time for that pulling apart of the two realities. It's like taffy sometimes. It bounces back and then goes forward, like a rubber band, right? In your world, there's something called a rubber band that goes back and forth. Because we cannot always let go of what is in the vision of what has happened, let's say, in the government. We know that government may ripple down and affect us. But if you are living your abundant life, if you're living your in frequency life, will it truly affect you with the hardships that everybody will speak of? No, because the world around you will meet you where you are. That is a form of scarcity when you know that you, whatever happens outside your world, will affect you. That is scarcity. We are not scarcity on the frequency of abundance. That is the opposite, isn't it? You are asked and you are given the choice to be able to be where you are at the understanding that you are. Sometimes it takes a little while to make the choices to be on the frequency you want to be on. But they are choices, right? They are choices to bring you into who you are. The choice to stay in troubled mindset because other people are telling you you are trouble will lower your frequency. Do you believe them? No. Labels that other people say are not always ours. That's their perception of the situation that they put you in. Ain't that a statement? It is time for you, us all, to be part of the higher frequency or lower frequency, whatever that frequency is, to bring you abundance. There's no right, there's no wrong. It is just choice. Choice and perception at the moment that you're in. So practice your way into knowing that you have the way to interact. As this dear one was watching a comedian earlier, that the first thing said will bring divorce, as the word was. The second thought was it would be a argument, and the third choice will bring a better relationship. The first thought your mind has is always, mainly always, maybe always, troubledness. The second thought will be less impactful, but yet still impactful. And the third one, because it's out of reaction, it's in interaction, will bring you more of abundance. Go with your third thought. Because the first thought is old patterning. The second thought is old wisdom. The third thought is, I'm here now. So be careful of the layers of the thoughts of your mind. It is time for you to believe in who you are. I, Mikhail, am here with you all to be with you as you walk forward. And dear ones, I whisper in your ears more than you know. Blessings to you on your journey of you. And may you find the love that you have for yourself, as this is the beginning of who you are and what you're going to be, is love. Oh, dear ones, you have been in the story of who you are. I'm Mother Mary. I'm here to be with you. I love you. I am here with love for you. And as there's been some stories of the ending of this world, oh, many, 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 many of us have belief that we will never be coming back on this planet. Even though there's many religions and many belief systems that say we will. No. We are here to support you in the spirit realm because we can be in many places. If we were physical, we would only touch the disbelievers, or mainly the disbelievers. It's time for you to believe mostly, if anything, in yourself, my dears. And it's time for you to be in that lovingness. It doesn't mean that love has no boundaries. Love has many boundaries. Love has many boundaries. And remembering that self-love is a form of boundary with grace, kindness, and different expectations. And when we have those expectations of self-love, I deserve to be loved. I deserve to be appreciated. I deserve to be witnessed as I am. Isn't that a boundary? And it's a different form of expectation. It's a different form of being with you and who you are. Love is part of your journey. Love is part of that understanding. Love is part of the path to greatness. Light is part of that. The softness of darkness, that glow of darkness that comes at night, that hugs you with peace and tranquility before you fall asleep, is love. Love comes in many forms. And it's time to believe in the love that you are. And I, Mother, will love you for who you are, no matter where you're at, because I am love. I am love. I am not attached to any language of any book. I am the unique me of spirit and soul, wisdom of kindness and love. Be at peace with who you are, as I am a form of the Gaia that is on this planet right now. Know that I, Gaia, and I, Mother Mary, are part of the teamwork to be with you, showing you that you are worthy of being here. So be a part of your wisdom and be a part of who you are, and know that you are loved. May the wisdom of the future be with you as you walk in the now. May the stories of the past be the wisdom of your now. And may you know that right now is who you are creating to be, who you are going to be. May love be with you, my dears. Wow. Thank you, everyone, for staying and being here. I hope, oh my gosh, I hope that helped. Whew. Wow. Whew. Talk about being in a car wash, going from there to there to there to there. Whew. Because at the end, I felt like Mother Mary and Gaia were actually one. Wow, that was interesting. So I have 10 minutes left on the show. And I think I'm going to pull some oracle cards. So if you would like some oracle cards, let's see here. I am going to pull the Wisdom of Oracles again. So the Wisdom of Oracle, I love this deck. It's easy for me to tap into, so that's why I'm doing it. And feel like right now me reading is not for my best interest for you. Veronica, yes. Thank you. Okay, this is for Veronica. They will, yeah, I think that maybe they were one. Yeah, because I felt kind of different in that channeling of Mother Mary. So thank you. I hope you felt the difference in that. I have to trust that when I channel that you may feel it, but it's up to you on what you feel. I'm not judging that in any ways. I'm hoping the words at least were guidance for you. Hi, Diane. Yes, I will give you one. Okay. So first, Veronica. This is for Veronica. And if you, please like and follow and share if you haven't already. This video. Okay, Veronica. What does the universe want to say for Veronica in the story? What she's at? Oh, spider. You are weaving your new web, my dear. You are totally in the story of where you're at. You are going to create. This is the fall time is spider time. You know, it's like in the Northwest here, you walk around like this, waving your hand in front of you because you're in the story of, but that's actually magical time for what are you going to weave for your new story because you're coming into a new story. There's one more card here, and it was this one. Because your loyalties are changing, right? Your loyalties are changing because you're not listening to the negative stories anymore. Your loyalty is shifting up into your new understanding. And so let your wisdom come because your loyalty is now more to yourself, which is not a bad thing. When we're loyal to ourselves, when we love ourselves, when we're steady in ourselves, we understand ourselves, we're in the frequency of knowing ourselves, our loyalty can be a little bit more in balance with the ones around us if they are in honoring of our frequency, right? So loyalty, serenity, and unconditional love. So be that unconditional for you. And because 19, 1 plus 9 is a 1, right? And the spider is a 15, which is a 6. So you're creating this new understanding. Fly, go out. I have the door open for you. Time for you to go out, sir. It, you. Okay. So this one is for Paula. Paula. Woo! So communication, my dear. Communication with yourself and others. Thank you for your channeling and your card reading. I love you. I love you too. So communication is huge right now, but remembering that communication is what do you think of when you first wake up? What do you go to sleep with thinking? Because communication is in all parts of it. How are you communicating with your body? How are you communicating with your soul? How are you communicating with the life around you? And look at where the light is in my, right now. It's on my heart, right? So, be where you're at. It flies, LOL, and Mother Mary spoke of them. Yes. So communication. What has this fly been doing around me? It's been communicating to me, right? So communication can come on all levels. So be ready to listen to even your vehicles want to speak to you, my dear. So there's one more card that's coming, and it's this one right here. Oh, there's two that put that one. That pulled out. So be gentle with yourself because it's time for you to weave your new web. Spider is very important in this timeline. Oh my gosh. Yes. So you are being profound, my dear, yourself. So be who you are. Be who you are. You are amazing and you are ready to tune in. You know, you're tuning in different to your the world around you right now, and you are finding your gift. You are finding your gift. Even if your gift is just for you, find your gift because then you can spread it around the world. Okay. So this one is for Diane. Hello, Diane. Okay. Anybody else want a card reading? Didn't I tell you? It's time for us all to weave our new web. Oh my gosh. It's time for us all to stand in the power. What do we want to catch in our web of our reality? Dude, What do we want to catch in the reality of our web? We have a choice right now. Do we, catch an insect that has no nutrition? Those thoughts, those understandings, an icky insect could be our thoughts and our understandings, right? Or is it a nutritious bug that can fill us up with great nutrition, right? And that's our positive thoughts, our positive frequency, those positive understandings. So, what do we want to catch in our web of understanding? Does spider talk so LOL? Okay, here's another one for you, Diane. Okay, here's another one. Okay, this card is like really talking to me. The Earth Fairy. So she wants you to know that it's time for you to really get grounded in what you know, grounded in who you are. Do not get distracted by the realities around you. Do not get distracted by the old belief systems that want to pop in, those old understandings. And oh my gosh, I am really witnessing how much in this country the difference between Democratic and Republican is so in our DNA. It's amazing. It's amazing. And it's about believing and remembering that, like this light that is shining on my chest right now, I'm allowing that light to open up my chest and my throat chakras to bring in. And I'm feeling a lot of like expansion in my chest right now because I'm letting the earth come in and the sun to come in and the balance of all that to come in. So, Earth Fairy, the story is physical health, grounding, and foundation. So, remembering that your foundation is very important, but your foundation may not be in the old. Like I was hearing somebody say, but I always do that. Do you need to do it? Do you always need to do it? So, give yourself some understanding and some grace because you're coming into a time where the partnerships of your life might be changing because your intuition, your understandings might be shifting up a little bit. So there might be a little bit of unsteadiness because cat knows what the tail is doing and the whiskers are doing. So remembering that it's about believing in yourself, but you might be a little discombobulated right now. So don't worry about who you are right now. Think about how you can become more of yourself by learning who you are right now. And you know what? When we can love ourselves in the dysfunction of our reality, we can love ourselves through the story of our life. So love yourself through the dysfunction, and you'll love yourself through the blessings. And this is a really time, a big time, a really big time to hone in and believe what we want to believe in. I do hope the show helped you. I do hope that life is being here with you and remembering that as we walk into the 1st of October, that we're going to be coming into another understanding of life. And I really get a feeling that there's going to be more people who are going to leave this planet, sadly. And it's going to be a moment. And as we're going forward into this next year of the month of October and the fall equinox, or the fall time of the northern hemisphere and the springtime of the fall, that it's time to really bring the light into our understanding. And as I have it in my chest again, that it's about bringing in the light to bring in our understanding, even though we may be getting darker. So I'm really thinking about Christmas lights because I want to bring a light in. So thank you all for being here. I'm Natasha Venter, intuitiveclarifications.com. If you're looking for more assistance, and I do hope and pray that my ability to do these videos for you, these short little shorts, can be helpful for you in your walk of life because they're just snippets of life right now. And I know sometimes I repeat what I've been saying before, but actually there's always a new layer of understanding. And it's really time for us to go that deeper sense, that deeper understanding, it's like going down into the minuticles of our bone structure, into the smallest tissue and molecules of our lungs, and really understand that all parts of our body are part of our evolution. even the mind. But remembering, it might be helpful to take the second or the third thoughts before the third, because they want to usually sabotage us a little bit. So blessings to all. And remember, I'll be here next Monday or next Wednesday at 4 o'clock Pacific time. And on the 8th is going to be, I think it's going to be someone, I'm going to have a guest. I'm going to be looking actually for having more guests on my show. So I hope that can be helpful. And I'm ready to expand. Blessed be to you. I'm Natasha Venter.